if you're starting out in cybersecurity, you've probably heard about the famous Security Plus exam. In this video, I will be going through a 30-day challenge that you can follow using specific tools and how to use them. I'm pretty excited about this breakdown, and I'm going to get right into it. So the first tool is Professor Mesa. If you are in cybersecurity, you've probably heard about Professor Mesa's courses, whether it's the Network Plus, the A Plus, and now the Security Plus. Why you should go through Professor Mesa? Well, first of all, you're going to go through the full course twice. You're probably wondering why twice. The first pass is for understanding. The second pass will be for exam thinking. Okay, now the amazing thing is that you will be watching in domain order. Okay, the second tool would be Pocket Prep. Now, Pocket Prep is an app that you can get on your phone. The amazing thing about it is that it allows you to go through questions daily. So within the 30 days, you will be going through different questions. It will help you with retention and pattern recognition, and it will also allow you to realize the problem areas that you are having when it comes to understanding the coursework. Okay, now let's go through the next tool. So the next tool is actually, can't open this. Let's try a different color. Okay. The next tool is a book, right? So we have video, we have an app, and now a book, okay? Which is called Get Certified, Get Ahead. Get certified, get ahead. Okay, and this is for the Security Plus version is Y Flow 701. Okay, this is the latest exam. So this is the book you get. The amazing thing about this book and why I suggest this book is that when you're done studying a specific domain, you get domain questions. So you'll be able to each week now go through those domain questions and just go through them. And this will help you when it comes to your exam, right? So Professor Mesa, Pocket Prep, and Get Certified, Get Ahead. You can find this online. You can find this book online. You can also find the PDF version as well as the ebook version. Okay, and the book is great because it explains carefully, and it comes highly recommended by different cybersecurity practitioners, people that have written this exam, and this is said to be the winning formula. So this formula is really a combination from different practitioners and of how you can reach success when it comes to writing Security Plus. We're going to move on to tool number 4. Okay. Tool 4. It's just let's keep it uniform. So I'm gonna write number 4. Okay, tool number 4 is a website called Exam Campus. This will really be your campus because it is all about reinforcement and confidence. You want to be confident and you want to make sure that you're scoring at least 85% on your practice exams, right? And back to back, 85%, 85%, 85%. And that's when you know you're actually ready because now you are drilling in this information and this knowledge, right? And this is something you'll be using on your weekends, and you focus on those domain specific tests and acronyms as well. So there's a lot of acronyms in the Security Plus exam. Okay, so how the weekly structure is going to work. Okay, so let me clear this out and then write out the week structure, right? So this is the 30-day breakdown, starting off with week 1, day 1 to 7, right? Or however much time we need for that. So what I would suggest is going through week 1, domain 1, general security concepts. The important thing about this is that the topics are quite interesting, right? So you would need to review terminology, security concepts, which include the 3 A's: malware, social engineering, fraud, scams, etc. Right? So you can do things like complete quizzes, chapter assessments, that sort of thing. So the important thing with this is that we want you to use Pocket Prep as well as Professor Mesa, just to make sure that you understand what's going on. And you can decide, maybe you can give yourself like 2 hours a day or more. If you have more time, you'd want to stretch it so that you can get in as much information as possible, and then you have a bit more space to do exam questions, right? So we're looking at general security concepts. This is for week 1. General security concept. Okay? Now, week 2. Okay. So yes, week 1, you're going to go through coursework, and then you're going to go through your Get Certified book and do the domain questions on the weekends. So this will be like a 7-day section, right? And then when you move on to week 2, this allows you to then, go through Professor Mesa. The topics are threats, vulnerabilities, and mitigations. So this can be threat actors, malware, social engineering, scams, mitigations, that sort of thing. In this week, you'd still be going through your Pocket Prep daily. And then at the end of the week, when you're doing your retest, you will be going through flashcards. You use notes, you use the Pocket Prep app. Are you getting the gist of it, right? Week 3, domain 3, security architecture, right? This will be your ports, your protocols, your IDS, IPS, network architecture, right? So you'll still be following the same formula, Professor Mesa, Pocket Prep, and going through your exam domain questions on the weekend. But the amazing thing about this is that we want to generate as much time as possible. So this can be 2 hours per day, or even more, 4 hours, 5 hours, 7 hours, if you have the time. And you can use different techniques such as Pomodoro, where you study for 25 minutes, break, you do something else, study for 25 minutes, break, or study 15 minutes, break, do something else, study 15 minutes, break. The whole point of this is that we want you to understand the different domains, but also retaining the information, pattern recognition, and then training your memory to remember, and most importantly, to understand. You can also use AI to break down different concepts for you a bit more simply, right? So the whole point of this is to have a multi-tool sort of exam practice or challenge, whereby you're not just doing one thing, whereby you're not just cramming. And yeah, let's move on to week 4. Week 4, because this is a 30-day challenge, right? You would then be squeezing in domain 4 and domain 5. Some people do this challenge in 45 days, which I've seen whereby it goes up to 6 weeks, and then the last week you use for studying and retention and that sort of thing. But if you the type of person that feels like you love a challenge and you can do this in 30 days, then this is what I would recommend. So now you are at week 4, okay? So you're going to go through the domain questions, the domain topics, and that will allow you to go through topics such as vulnerability management, data protection, asset management, that sort of thing. You'll be doing your Pocket Prep daily, as well as going through your exam questions, right? So I think by this time you get the gist, using flashcards, and all those amazing things when it comes to security program management and oversight. You're looking at your GRC policies, audits, and the likes. The amazing thing is, once you get to day 27, 28, day 29 and 30, you'll be going through these domain exam questions, mixed tests from Exam Compass, as well as your Pocket Prep Daily, right? So the whole point of this is that you have one teacher, Professor Mesa. You can find others, obviously, right? But Professor Mesa is free, because people always ask, where do I start? I don't have the resources. Professor Mesa is free. So you start with Professor Mesa. Then you will be going through 2 intentional passes. So you're going to be watching Professor Mesa twice, right? You're going to go through his material twice. And then you're going to do weekly learning. So this allows you to go through each domain weekly. And then lastly, weekly planning and rhythm. We want that rhythm. So flashcards, exams, you get the gist, right? And then daily recall through Pocket Prep. The first thing you wake up, before you even brush your teeth, you do a quick question on Pocket Prep, right? And then domain exams after each topic. This will then help you not to just cram everything, but it will give your mind a break, right? And that's the most important thing about this 30-day challenge, is to allow your mind to retain the information without cramming, but to also give yourself space and time to take in the different domains and their different topics.